Hello, everybody. How is everybody doing? A lot of individuals, again, have persecuted your daddy's nipples falsely, maliciously, unfounded accusations are flying around on YouTube. Phew, 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 phew. And a lot have been saying that I am responsible for Jeremy Seabold's tire issue. That is a falsity. That did not happen. One, I did not have any contact with Mr. Seabalt yesterday. Did not touch his vehicles, and I did not do anything to him. Did not come in, you know, a I, I did not knowingly even see him yesterday. So it's just, YouTube talks and Jeremy, talks and the beard starts moving and it starts lying and then some cheese whiz from his fat fucking ugly wife seeps out and then some sugar comes out from him and his daughter taking over the world's candy supply. And, things get very, muddled. But something I will say, though, is I may be willing to testify against Mr. Seabald. Now, in the regard of, so there's this whole, at this point, I'll make it an allegation. There's an allegation that there's a video of the new Chicago incident that does not exist. Okay? And I believe Lake County, I don't think New Chicago doesn't have their own court, I don't think, because they're so small. But I believe it's in Lake County where he's facing the whole situation for allegedly taking a gun on to school property through the parking lot there. Um, that so mysteriously that video doesn't exist anymore. And my contention is, and I'm sure it is a Lake County's contention, that Mr. Seabalt deleted the video. It is also my contention that Mr. Seabalt had the only copy of said video. Now, Lake County can prove that that video exists by a couple of methods. One is a longer process upon why they are not actually producing the evidence. Is because I'm assuming that they are subpoenaing YouTube to get the video. Because every video you post on YouTube, even if you delete it, that stays on YouTube's server because YouTube has been through this before where there's been crimes committed and then somebody deletes it and then, the cops or for civil proceedings or whatever the case may be. And then, I believe it stays on there for a couple of years, to be honest with you. I would think so. And so, either Lake County can go back and they can actually, get the video off the server. That'll take multiple months to subpoena YouTube and then have them find it and talk to lawyers and, maybe fucking 6 months before they even get the video. And if they can prove to a judge, say, hey, judge, you know what? This fucking video does exist. Now, even if fucking, the lion-bearded terrorist himself says, well, I want Fast and Speedy, judge. Okay, well, he can do Fast and Speedy, but Fast and Speedy isn't necessarily Fast and Speedy. And what I mean by that is I've seen fucking prosecutors get, like, multiple continuances. Now, some will say, oh, well, they're guaranteed only 2 or 3 continuances. I'm not so sure on that because if the prosecution can prove that, hey, judge, that YouTube has acknowledged that this video exists. We've subpoenaed them. Here's the process we're at right now. We're just waiting on YouTube to give us a video that proves our allegations. Then under that circumstance, then the judge can override the Fast and Speedy situation and say, well, you know what, Mr. Seabalt and your attorney, hey, I'm putting the brakes on your Fast and Speedy. Once they get the video, then we'll start your Fast and Speedy back up. And it's perfectly legal to do that because, the state at that juncture has a compelling interest to, hey, a judge, we need, some time. Whether it's an official stay of proceedings, maybe not, but the judge can hold it up for as long as he or she wants for just cause, if there is just cause. Or option two, they can have somebody testify on a witness stand. And I'll be more than happy to do this. My services are always available for the pursuit of justice and to get each and every CIA agent off of the streets. Jeremy has admitted that he is CIA. I just haven't had the time to sue Mr. Seaball in federal court yet, but I have about a year and a half to do that yet. But don't worry, Jeremy. You know, I'm gonna take your house and all your belongings and that beard. I'm taking that beard too. I'm gonna sue you for your beard too. Uh, so Lake County can say, okay, well, we have a Mr. Swine here who will swear under oath that he watched the video. Okay, now I would just be testifying to the fact of, hey, the video does exist because I watched the video. I can tell you, what happens in the video because I watched the video. Now, do I have a copy? I don't answer questions, but I can prove that the video does exist, and that's a shortcut. Now they would probably need two or three other individuals because then the defense then they cross examine me. Now I can hold my own, but I have a pass like any other auditor, and so that may come into play. But you know, a- anyway, my point of this is though is see Jeremy. Anytime that beard starts a shaking, he's telling you half truth. And then, it gets to really shaking and moving, he's just lying to you. And so, why don't you guys who are supporting a Mr. C douche and who are, donating to this fat bastard, ask him some questions. Ask him some questions. Why is Lake County taking so long to get evidence? Or, basically, if I were, in that situation, as in Mr. Seaball, I'd be like, hey, a lawyer man, go and file a motion for clarification to, with the court to, have a hearing and, ask the prosecution basically, what are they doing? Are they getting evidence? Do they know of it? Of any evidence? Are they starting the process? What are they doing? If they're not doing anything to get any evidence, then I would have a suppression hearing. I'm a firm believer in suppression hearings. I think that a motion to suppress is kind of like you have a free play. You have something free, you can fucking take a swing and see what you come up with. So lawyers that don't automatically do a suppression hearing, I have to question your salt as a lawyer because there's nothing bad that can happen from a suppression hearing. I mean, you're asking to suppress something, you may fucking get it if you make a compelling argument. I mean, it's basically a freebie. I'd have a suppression hearing, and then depending upon what I got from that or didn't get, I would file, a motion to dismiss, basically a lack of evidence, because I mean, Jeremy, maybe, and I say maybe in the loosest terms after I get done fucking your mothers, because that pussy is loose after swine gets in there and roots around. But maybe, and precipice, maybe, might, could, maybe, he might have an argument on the whole that the county cannot prove that he had a firearm on um, through the parking lot. But it would be interesting for somebody to go through that video with a fine tooth comb because, – uh, – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – – –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– –– – I have another way that they could prove that there was a firearm on the property, but I'm not going to divulge that quite yet. But anyway, does anybody have any questions? Let's see what we got here. Any comments, concerns? Oh, so is a weed man and a news now marijuana? Are you guys feuding or something? Are you competing entities? Are you guys slinging weed on one another's fucking territory? Do I have like a cartel beef on my fucking stream here, guys? What's going on? Anyway, I guess you guys are fucking stoned, so you guys can't talk. But anyway, you guys have a good Tuesday. Stay lubricated. And if you're, smoking cannabinoid products or consuming cannabinoid products, rather, always stay hydrated. And if you have a chance to fuck a MILF, I do so. Oh, I have a story to tell you. So, a Sunday, I was at a grocery store, and I saw this bitch from behind. And you guys know how sometimes you can see a bitch from behind, and it's like, oh, she's gorgeous. And then she turns around, it's like, oh, she's 65, she has a tooth missing, and she has a cigarette hanging out of her mouth, and she has a Budweiser. That's happened a few times. But so this bitch, I don't know how to explain it, but like her lower half, she was wearing these either gray or white, kind of like stretch pants, kind of like knit, spandexy, kind of, the stretch pants, and like her lower half was in such a way that, like, I'm not even talking hourglass. I'm talking like her hips and her ass were in such a way that like, one, I knew she was not from around here, because females just don't look like that around here. If you come across, and I've been in Indiana for 35 years, a long time, and normally if you come across just a smoking bitch, like just like smoking, gotta have her right there, she's a visitor. Okay, or she's homegrown and she's about to leave. Anyway, that's a different discussion. But so like her hips and her ass was like, kind of like, I don't know how to explain it because I really can't. But like, do you guys know how like some females, they have like this, it's like their ass is at a different angle than like their hips and their pelvis and their back. You guys know what I'm talking about? I mean, there are some really, really hot females that just their whole configuration of their ass and their legs and just their whole body is just at just a different configuration, because they're so skinny, they're so like fit, and their body is just built in a different manner, if that makes any sense. And so like from behind, I mean, I'm in love. And then she turns around, and there were a few things that needed to be modified. She had a little bit of an acne problem. I thought she was younger. She was in her 30s. Totally hot. Totally fucker. Totally hot. She just needed to cut down some inflammation. Get her on a regimen of some inflammatory, fruits and vegetables and some smoothies and shit. Get that knocked out in about 3 weeks. And then she needs a tan, and then she's a 10. And then, so just to kind of cut the story short, so I'm trying to find an opportunity to go talk to this bitch. One thing I need to work on is I can go up one-on-one and talk to a bitch all day long, get that number, and get the business. But for some reason, I'm a little intimidated, like going and talking 2-3 women, at once. And that's something I need to overcome. I need to, do some self-help on myself and, actually get over that. Because, the thing of it is, if you go up to a group of women, okay, then, eventually you got to pick the one or the two that you want off from the herd, okay? So that's a time-consuming process. Or you could just go up and, just cut to the chase and say, hey, I think you're hot. You want to, come over here and let me holler at you. Basically, get her away from the herd. Just kind of, pick her off, so to speak. Not actually kill her, just move her to the side of her own volition. Uh, and so I was trying to figure out a way to talk to her, but I was busy, and she was with her friend, and I need to work on that. By the way, I need to post a video upon how I overcome my 2 to 3 women uh, approaching. I'll post that at some point. Anyway, so finally, I'm done paying, and they're outside, and I'm like, damn it, I missed my opportunity. Well, then the friend comes back, she's returning her cart. And then I holler at the friend, basically say, hey, your friend is gorgeous, is she single? And of course, a female of that, actual, hotness is not. Now, so here's the life lesson, okay? Now, I stopped at that point after she said, no, she's taken, and she, giggles and walks away, and, okay, fine. But, like, if I was in a better place in my life, financially, I would have taken that further because, like, that was just, like a meet and greet. And that wasn't like, no. That was like, well, I don't know you. It, because, like, there's a difference between no and, hey, motherfucker, I don't know you. And, I've had that happen hundreds of times over the years where, hey, you know what? I don't know you, so no. And then, I talked to him for a hour, and it's like, okay, well, that no has turned into yes, because now I know you. I know you're not going to kill me. I know you're a decent person. I know you're a nice guy, and I know you just want to fuck me. So, there's like a difference between I don't know you, no, and like no, and then like no means no. So you kind of have to figure all this out because you females are difficult creatures. Anyway, you motherfuckers have a lovely, and I do mean lovely, Tuesday. I think you guys should donate to my harem fund. Send all harem donations to my PayPal link. Uh, I've looked into what it would cost to start and maintain a harem, and it's just insane. If anybody doesn't know what a harem is,